Good afternoon. It is Sia with Black Petal Gardening, and we're doing a garlic update today. Now, I want to apologize ahead of time. My voice probably sounds a little weird. I have been sick as a dog for the last 3 days. I'm really hoping that today is the day that turns it around, and because I am feeling a little bit better. Back to the garlic. So you can see here already the two garlic cloves that I had planted out here in the onion bed, I have already pulled out. So we had a pretty intense thunderstorm roll in a few days ago. Lots and lots of rain came down, lots of water. And my concern was if I leave the garlic in the ground, they could potentially start to rot, because we had definitely gotten to the point, you can see with how, you know, brown the leaves are. We've gotten to the point where they were kind of curing in the ground, and once I pulled them out, we'd be curing them the normal way. And so you didn't really want to be watering them after they've gotten to that kind of tipping point. Unfortunately, being where they were planted, not a lot of flexibility with being able to determine how to water the plants around and not get these. So anyway, I did end up pulling these up, and they've been sitting out for I think just a day now at this point. And we can see they're decent. They're not too bad. I don't think they're perfect by any means, but they definitely could be worse. And we're gonna take a little walk over to where we had some of our other garlic planted, because I did also harvest the garlic that was in here for some of the same reasons. It was down here, it had gotten really wet, and I just wanted to get it out of the ground. You can see here the results of that. Now again, this has been out for like a day or two at this point. Maybe it's even been 3. I'll tell you, with as sick as I have been, the days, they go quickly. They've got these little weird nodules, which I'm sure I could look up and find out what that is. Maybe they're baby garlic and I can plant them. I'll have to take a look at it to see. But mostly there's a little bit of splitting, it looks like here. But for the most part, they are drying out, and the garlic heads are pretty decent. I'm actually rather pleased with the results. Now this one's a little interesting with that second garlic head right there. Now I didn't plant very many. It was a little bit of an experiment. So far the results for these have been pretty decent. Now this particular pot did have some garlic in it, and I actually harvested those, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and it was very abysmal. And actually, let me go get those so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so look at this bounty and be jealous. Yeah. So these ones, not really that great. They did make a bulb, and feeling in there are little cloves, it feels like, but they didn't really grow to size. I mean, especially if you compare to these, they do look pretty lackluster. They almost look like they should be little onion sets, but there's definitely little mini cloves in there. So, you know, some stuff works better than others. Now I do have one last bin to harvest. And again, I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope on these either. I've been cautiously optimistic about the others and had, you know, varying success. So, okay, you know, nothing to write home about. And, you know, if you look at the stalk, it's pretty slender, and most of these are. So, a less than impressive bulb is not going to be unexpected at this point. So, okay. And there's the last one. Oh, that one's pretty moist. So yeah, definitely gonna need to get these over somewhere to dry out. Now the question is, are these suitable to hold on to, you know, for a longer term storage or not? My guess is going to be these smaller bulbs for sure. Not really. I mean, I am drying them, but what will probably happen is I will probably cut them up a little bit more and put them in the dehydrator and then eventually make them into garlic powder. I'll be honest, that's probably going to be the fate for most of these, because they really aren't that significant in size. Now some of these other ones over here, there may be, that's kind of weird looking right there, that little nodule. It might be another one of these things, but these ones might be a little bit more suitable for a little bit longer term storage. But considering this is the bulk of the garlic that I did plant, I think I had one that when I pulled the stalk up, nothing came up. So I do need to dig around a little bit in the bin over there to see if there's like one floating around in the dirt. But I'm really kind of thinking most of this I may just make garlic powder with, especially since this was started last year in September, probably maybe October, and it was really before I was being very intentional about my gardening and anything like that. So this year my hope is that we will have this area knocked down. Let me zoom out just a little bit. This area knocked down, either here or the one over there, and you know, kind of leveled so that we can get started on transforming this piece of the garden area to our, you know, to match our extension, and get some of our new raised beds in here. We are not, this has nothing to do with garlic, but here you go, heads up. We are not going to be doing the raised beds like those. We're actually going to do some round ones. And so what I've thought is if we can get that done by August, then in September, we can make sure that the raised bed, at least one of the raised beds is in and filled, you know, with good amended soil, you know, doing all those preparation things that I didn't really do last year, and have one of those be for garlic and do way more than I think the 11 to 14 little garlic things that we have here. And so maybe we'll be much more successful next year. And you know, even with what we're seeing here, I'm not considering this a failure. It's definitely a mixed bag as far as how we've done, but overall, I ended up with garlic. So you know, that's really kind of a win for me. So that's where we are with our garlic and what our plans are for garlic planting coming this fall. If you have any suggestions, ideas, if you've seen something with what we're showing here that's unusual or something you've seen before, especially these little weird nodule things, if these are things that I can just like plant and they'll turn into garlic, let me know. I'd love to have that expertise shared, and we do read every single comment and I try to reply to all of them as well. So be sure to give us a like and subscribe so you can follow along with what the heck we're doing over here. And in the meantime, I hope you have a marvelous evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.